All right, boys and girls, we are all lined up and ready to go over here. We need about 76,000 more people in this room. Let's get some shares up in here. Let's bring in 1 to 3 friends, no more, no less. Two is just not a good combo. You need 3 or you need 1. That is the combo to go for. Bring them on in and let's get the show on the road, boys and girls. And we got so much to show you. I know we missed yesterday because it was OPV's birthday. Oh, we got highlights. Let's get this thing going here in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to Ask a Wizard. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, we're talking about the history of chickens. The end. No. The ENTJ personality type and how to cook eggs. Tyler, this is absurd. Why are you talking about the history of chickens and how to cook eggs? Neither of those things are relevant in the news. They're not trending. You're not going to get seen by a billion people. I know. I do what I like, and I don't care what's going on with YouTube trends. Sometimes I do, and then I'll hop on into them. But, most of the time I don't. Thank you for allowing us to take Monday off. OPV's had this thing called a birthday that she likes to celebrate. I don't get it. Apparently she's like, oh, let's celebrate a passing of a year. Our lives are getting closer to death. Yay. I don't, it's not my cup of tea. But she did, so we got her some dinner. I let her have 3 entire kale leaves. That was wonderful. She's still full from her kale leaves. Of course, I'm going to have her fast for 3 days to balance this out. But alas, we did celebrate her birthday, and I got her some of these things. These are stretchy, scented erasers. We also got her big old expensive baguette baskets. Now, you might be saying, Tyler, if she only eats 3 kale leaves a day on a celebration, why does she have baguette baskets? Well, I make her bake the food and then look at it, and then she just watches it until it rots away. It's very effective for developing willpower. I call it stoic exercises, or at least when the cops come, that's what we call it, right? I'm not joking. Not joking about joking about not joking is 2 levels of funny. You know what we should do, though? We should do the Paracosmic Sip. Let's get this show on the road. If you don't know what the Paracosmic Sip is, you should grab a beverage, and you're going to experience something that could change your life right now. That sounds crazy, but if you listen to my hype, it's that big of a deal. The Paracosmic Sip. This thing is great for relieving relaxation, getting rid of stress, promoting a positive mindset, everything you need for the day. In my opinion, it's wonderful. Let's get that volume up to max here. That's really loud. Oh man, that's loud in my ears, but no, it's normal for you guys. So, this is the Owl of Relaxation. If you look into his eyes, you'll notice that he's adorable and cute and surrounded by nature, which causes you to feel more relaxed. Now, we need to get rid of some of our negative energy, so go ahead and hold your hands just like this. I know that sounds weird, but what I want you to do is hold your hands just like this, and you're going to feel a magnetic force. I know, bizarre, but imagine it's glowing in between your hands, and you have to really imagine it, and if you do, suddenly you'll start to feel a strange magnetic force pushing back when you push in slightly. It's an odd feeling. And then once you've done that, we want to imagine our anxiety, stress, any negative feelings in our body are a color, and have that color float all the way from our toes throughout our whole body, our head into our shoulders, down into our arms, up into our hands, and have that fill the energy ball. And you'll start to feel it get a little bit heavier as it gets closer to the top. That's when it'll be full, and you can let that go. And when you do, you'll actually feel that release of energy there, but it's not enough. You see, to do the next step, the problem is if you just let the energy go, your body's going to put the same energy back. We got to get the Paracosmic Sip in. So that's where you get a cup, a glass, anything with any liquid, wine, beer, it could be water, it could be tea, it could be coffee, it could be, I don't know, what's another liquid? Egg yolk. It could be liquid egg yolk. Whatever you want, imagine on the bottom of your glass another energy glowing, but this time it's the energy you do want. Imagine it glowing at the bottom and place your hand on top. And as it's charging up, imagine it filling your cup. And you'll actually feel a tingle on your hand when it's ready. In 3, 2, 1. That's the charged cup. Now you're ready to partake in the Paracosmic Sip with all the owls all around the world. Ireland, Australia, Canada, Florida, Massachusetts, South Carolina, North Carolina, North Dakota, South Africa, California, Montana, Minnesota, all around, people are partaking in the same Paracosmic Sip in 3, 2, 1. And you'll feel the exact energy you need, and that, my friends, is the Paracosmic Sip. Let me know in the comments below your experiences. I can't make any claims, but if you suddenly attain the ability to see the future or something to that effect, I can't stop you from saying it at all. So let us know in the chat. How are we doing, O-Peeps?
Doing good. Ducky Owl asks, what kind of stream is it today?
This is the standard stream, where we're going to be doing the History's Mysteries. We're going to be doing Paracosmic Sip. We're going to be doing Build, Grow, and Create. All your favorites. We got those lined up for you guys here today. But first, I got to tell you, I spent a lot of money. Look at me. Well, I guess not a lot of money, but I spent a decent amount of more money than most of these little sham podcasters. You go and you turn on these comedian shows, and they come into you, and they're like this with no webcam, and they got a mic like this. Hey, how's it going? A chicken walks into a bar. Absolutely atrocious. And then they go and they've got like $70,000 a year worth of funding. I don't get it. I dropped more than most of these podcasters do in their entire studio on a microphone. It's called a Heil microphone. The PR30 Black. I can't remember, was it $300 or $200? It's, pretty nice. I wanted to go for the other one, but you had to like buy the software. It was a $600 mic, $599, but you had to like buy the software, and I'm like, I don't think my little laptop here is going to handle that. I don't want to mess. I want something I can just plug in and play, and I'm hoping that that's with what this is here. I don't know. I'm hoping we can get this set up in the week at least, but in the meantime, we'll continue to use the Snowball. Pretty cool stuff. I'm stoked about it, and that's because of your guys' support. When you guys support the show, we make the show better. I am blessed enough right now to not need to worry about getting my money from the show. So when you guys put money into the show, it's going back into the show, and usually I'm doing a little double action here. You throw in 100, I put in 100 as well, because I want this thing to be the best show on the internet. So thank you for all your support. You guys are legends. All right, so with that, I think it's time for us to move on to the Weekly Weird.
All right. Deadpool Owl is scared of this stream.
Why?
He's scared of chickens.
Oh no, why is he scared of chickens?
I don't know.
Well, we'll have to fix that phobia for you.
Yes.
This Week in Weird, Louisiana and Texas are at the cusp of saving America. So Louisiana and Texas are just crushing this week. Louisiana is passing a bill to make it illegal for schools, also known as the Church of Satan education system, horrifying abomination. They are not going to be allowed to teach about sexuality, racism, or gender. It will be made illegal to teach in the school system. So keep on crushing Louisiana. Be the voice of reason in America. And not one to be shown up, Texas is also crushing. They saw Louisiana. They're like, wow, Louisiana's kind of kicking our butts. We did ban masks in the shutdowns. Let's take it a step further. They are now banning anyone from using vaccine IDs. So Texas coming in crushing strong, Louisiana crushing strong. I would buy if I were you. If this was a stock of America, I would say let's invest in Texas and Louisiana. Of course, that's not financial advice. It's just a joke. Don't listen to wizards on the internet. That being said, these people have stood up and said, we are going to outlaw legislating stupidity, evil, and racism. And the laws have not passed yet. But if they do, I guarantee, I will say this right now, live on air. If Louisiana passes this bill, if it gets accepted, I will buy a piece of land in Louisiana. We will get some land in Louisiana. I want to be bought in like the stock. I want to own a piece of land in Louisiana. It might not be a big piece of land, but I want to own something because they are doing things right. And I'll consider Texas. I'm still skeptical of Texas. Texas has some major issues to work out, especially with the gaggle of fools that have followed Joe Rogan and their drug abusing freaks along the way. Just a weird guy, yeah, man. He's just promoting massive drug abuse to children, and I find that to be disturbing. He's got an audience of people who are like 14 years old, and he's just like, yeah, man, what's the problem with doing drugs? Oh, I don't know. You can literally permanently damage your brain if you use them at a young age or in adulthood, for some cases with the stuff he's messing with. But I don't know. It makes me pretty mad when you see someone who's influencing millions of young people's minds with, hey, you know what's cool? Poisoning your brain and permanently damaging it. You're like, oh, okay. Well, you sound like a moron. Absolutely absurd.
Mm-hmm. So Deadpool Owl is scared of chickens because he says the FBI chickens are coming after him.
What are the FBI chickens?
I have no idea, but I'm kind of scared of them too.
I could take out 100 FBI chickens with my 1 foot. I could just kick them.
Oh my God.
They're weak. What are they gonna do? Peck me? I'm not worried about them. Not afraid of no chicken.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next segment, which is Build, Grow, and Create, the jump results. All right, so for those of you who are new, you might not know what's going on here. Build, Grow, and Create is where we do something to build, grow, and create ourselves or the community or the world. It's a broad, overarching term for making ourselves into better people. Now, last month of March, we did the Jump Challenge. We wanted to take a training program and learn how to jump vertically, and we wanted to see how much we could grow in just 1 month. Now, this is a notoriously hard thing to grow. It takes a long time to get improvements according to the internet, but we, being the Owls, were not bested by this. So we took to the challenges. I believe Sherlock Owl dropped her numbers in. Did you see those in chat?
She did, yes.
How many increases from the Sherlock Owl?
I think 2 inches of increase.
She increased by 2 inches in a month.
Phenomenal.
2 inches in a month. Now you might be tired. 2 inches in a month. That's not very much at all. You are talking about a skill set where increasing by an inch is like astronomical. People will work for months on end to try and increase by just an inch once you get to the upper echelons of the skill set. So absolutely incredible indeed. Now, when we started this challenge, OPVs, featured here on the right, was starting in at a hefty 13 inches. So she was able to hop 13 inches in the air, and I hopped a measly yet Tesla number 9 inches. So OPV starting off strong with the 13 inches. Now we did a month of training, and it is time to see where we ended up. We did our measurements in today, and what I did was I achieved a staggering 14 inches. And OPVs has elevated to the legendary 16 inches in 1 month. Absolutely insane results here, boys and girls. Now, what does this calculate? What is the challenge? Who wins in the end? I have attained victory by beating OPV's 3 inches with a staggering 5 inches. Now, this is the cumulative gain. That is how we measured this. And I now stand with my trophy in hand and have gained victory. Now, if OPV's had won, she would receive $100 cash. However, she has not received those $100 and will not be able to supply herself with many a kale leaf. Instead, she has lost and must show her face to you all.
When?
You must sacrifice your face, OPV.
When?
You know when, and the time has come.
Right now?
Sacrifice your face, OPVs.
Okay. This is so weird. Am I in frame?
I'm summoning the OPVs from the abyss. Come forth! Woo! That is OPVs.
Hi.
She is now on camera. Congratulations on losing the jump challenge. I
Thank you.
have crushed, and
I could have
will
done
crush you on the
way
weight loss
better.
too. Yeah, well, that's a big thing about this jump challenge is OPVs and I probably did like what four of the 6 workouts, maybe.
Pretty much.
Not very many of them, and we still got amazing results. So you now have seen OPV's. She is now on the camera.
That's cute. Now I can see his view.
Yeah, this is my view. It's pretty nice, isn't it?
A little bit. Hi. Okay,
Welcome.
bye.
All right, OPV's has now returned. There we go. OMG, so excited. Ducky Owl has cheered in celebration. Everyone is so excited. This is great times. No problem at all, Isaac. See you in a bit. So that is the jump challenge. Now, what next? What are we going to do next? We learned how to jump, so it's obviously going to be fitness related, right? Absolutely not. We're learning how to cook eggs. You might be saying, what? Eggs? What are you talking about? Why are we gonna... You could learn how to cook eggs in like 35 minutes, Tyler. Wrong! You cannot learn how to cook eggs in just 35 minutes. In fact, quote from top French chefs and Gordon Ramsay himself, learn to cook egg and you learn how to cook all. That is what we are going to be learning, is many techniques here on how to cook eggs. In fact, we put together an accelerated learning model for this already, and the definition is we want you to become the best egg cook in your family in just 1 month. The 3 key things that we're going to focus on is the principles known as flavor, fat, and protein. The second is texture, temperature, and timing. And third, technique and research. Finally, we're going to focus on the don'ts. Don't number 1, burn the eggs. That's how you really screw up eggs. Don't burn them. And number 2, don't be afraid of fat. The key to eggs is you are putting in a ton of oil and butter a lot of times to make these things delicious. It's how it works. We are going to be breaking down 4 different training modules for you this month in April. The first one, we're going to start you off nice and easy. You're going to blow your family's mind because you're going to learn how to boil eggs 3 different ways, and they are going to just crush, because I guarantee you, you're like, Tyler, we know how to make hard-boiled eggs. I bet you do. I bet it's that gross yellow. It looks like the napalm, what do you call it? The glycerin that TNT is made of. It looks like a chemical chalk inside of your eggs, because you don't know how to boil eggs at all until you take part in the great egg experiment. We're going to be showing you guys the great egg experiment, where you're going to learn how to get that. You know, when you watch Gordon Ramsay and he cuts an egg and it goops out perfectly, you're going to be nailing that. And then we're going to move on to baking. You might be saying, Tyler, baking eggs, how does that even work? You're going to be learning desserts. You're going to be learning a lot of great things with the baking. Trust me. Finally, we're going to move on to the technical ones. This is the pan frying. This is the most difficult to do. It's also how you become a pro. So you're going to be cooking with them in a cast iron or a skillet, and we're going to show you a bunch of ways to do that as well. And finally, we'll be covering what I call egg alchemy. These are just really impressive little tricks that if you learn how to do, you can make everything taste better. You can show off, impress your friends, and it's basically just a compilation of make you look like an incredible legend of egg cookery when other people don't even know how to make scrambled eggs.
Yeah, Corey said, I tried to make a poached egg today and I failed.
Right.
But it tasted good.
Good work. That's where we'll be covering the poached egg. That's the hardest one of the boiling family. Very difficult stuff.
Sherlock Owl says, baking eggs?
I know. You might be saying,
Yes.
what? Baking eggs. That's right. The egg is amazing. There's a reason for this. I mean, the reason we're going with eggs is eggs are really undersold. People don't get that this is the real ramen. You know, everyone says, oh, I'm poor, I have to eat ramen. You should just throw your ramen away. Eggs is where it's at. These things are some of the healthiest foods you can get. They're the least expensive protein you can find in a store. These things can be used for virtually anything. You can use them in soups. You can use them to bake. You can use them to make bread. You can use them to make pasta, noodles. You can make dumplings. You can make custards, desserts, meringues, omelets. It's insane. Sauces, mayonnaise, all of this stuff.
Many different things.
And it's so cheap, and it can make your life not just healthier, but you can also enjoy the benefits of the money saved as well. So if you're a quote-unquote poor college student, I mean, you wrangle up a chicken, they pump out an egg a day. Yeah. 1 egg a day from a chicken, and it's like $25 to buy an egg-laying chicken, $3 if you get them at Chicks and raise them to maturity. it's a big play. So I think this is something that's going to change your guys' lives for the better. If nothing else, waking up in the morning and being able to do a basted egg versus just a gross smoothie syrup drink, that alone can change your life. So that is why we're going to learn how to cook eggs.
Snowy Owl says, I like cooking eggs, but I don't like eating them.
Interesting. Well, that means that we're going to have to learn all the different ways you can make eggs. Because do you like eating cake? Do you like eating pudding? Do you like eating sandwiches? Do you like eating mayonnaise? Do you like garlic aioli? Do you like aioli, whatever they call it?
Have you ever had a Scotch egg?
Scotch egg. There's a lot of different ways. How about pasta? You're a fan of that? Bread?
What about Eggs Benedict?
Eggs Benedict. There's a lot to go with eggs. Trust me.
A lot. And I didn't like eggs either for a while.
Yeah, and you have to realize most people don't know how to cook eggs. So a lot of times when you think you don't like eggs, what you really don't like is a terrible cook. That's what you really don't like. All right, so that is how to cook eggs. That's our new challenge. We'll be coming out with videos to teach you guys a bunch of different stuff over the next month, and you will become an eggspert, is what I'm calling it.
Wow, so
yes,
clever.
An eggspert. All right, so let's move on to the first incredible video, shall we? You can be Iron Man now.
What?
Yeah, that's a thing. You're just able to become Iron Man. Apparently, that's the technology is here. I found out about it.
This is the checkers game where grandson and granddad will bond.
All right, let's get this set up here. Welcome to the world that you didn't know you lived in. It's called the ability to be Iron Man. This is real. This is not special effects. This is incredible. Oh my word.
Wow.
I would spend $75,000 to be able to do this. I'd buy this over a car any day. I want to know how long they can last, though, because if it's only 30 minutes or 30 seconds, I'm not in. I need at least an hour of flight for it to be worth it. So epic. I wonder how high he can get, though. Can he get higher than that, or does he have to be near the ground for the pressure to work? Either way, though, it's still epic. Imagine you're in traffic in New York, and you just blowing by the people with this. They're just shooting out of the way. Imagine a gator just goes and just eats them. Wow. Oh, I could see so many cool, Navy SEAL operations. They jump off a boat and they just fly over, jump onto an enemy's vessel. That would be so cool. Absolutely crazy. So that, my friends, is the fact that you can be Iron Man now. This is real life. Welcome. This is something to look forward to in the future. This is on the horizon. I'm sure it'll probably be 5-10 years before it's publicly available to an average person, but still, the tech is here. Now it's just a matter of time. He's able to maneuver very well too, which I'm impressed by.
But
what's that?
it does look a little goofy.
But I mean, does this not look kind of goofy? I mean, just look at that. That's the Iron Man suit. He's strapped in metal, but it's epic. Now it's epic. I think.
Pretty cool.
I think pretty epic. What does the chat think?
They're talking about eggs.
Eggs! I mean, I'm telling you, eggs are going to be big. In fact, we're about to talk about some eggs some more. I'm glad you brought it up, because we're moving on to History's Mysteries, the history of chickens. So, you might be saying to yourself, Tyler, that this is kind of absurd. We're studying about the history of chickens. That seems rather boring. Well, today we are going to learn about chickens, and I want you to realize that by the end of this presentation, you're going to realize that chickens are incredible. They are a gift from God. you don't understand that they actually possess a superpower. You know, the fact that these chickens, that you always hear about this GMO, right? It's like, oh, everything's genetically modified. It's all terrible. Oh, that bad beef. Chickens put out an egg a day naturally. This is how they are in real life. It's not just because of the way that they were bred. Now, there are some chickens that are bred that way, but wild chickens also produce 1 egg a day, or an excessively large amount of eggs. And so that's part of the history here, and it is fascinating how we came about these creatures. So let's take a look here. I'm going to be your wizard guide as we learn about the wonderful world of chickens. And to do that, we have to go and travel all the way back in time, 5,000 years ago, to the ancient forest of East Asia to explore its misty bamboo forest, pictured here. In this forest, as you see pictured to the left, you will find what is known as the OG chicken. In my opinion, that's the original gangster chicken. The real term is called jungle fowl. These were chickens who were basically non-domesticated chickens. They lived in the forest. In fact, you can still get this breed today. One of the famous ones is known as the ghost chicken. The reason it's called the ghost chicken is because you do not have to actually keep a coop for them, and you don't need to fence them in. They will keep themselves alive, and they sleep in trees to avoid predators. So that is an example of one of these chickens, and that's kind of how these ones used to operate as well. The modern chicken you see today is much dumber than these old-timey ones, in the same way that domesticated turkeys are a lot less intelligent than wild turkeys. It's very similar in that regard. Now, these chickens were not just ordinary creatures. They had a superpower. Their superpower is that they can increase their egg production based on their food supply and the temperature that they're in. Wow. So as long as they are warm, as long as they are dry, and as long as they have readily supply of good, healthy foods, they will just keep increasing their egg production to the point of up to an egg a day. Wow. And that was just the natural trait they had. Now, this kind of regulated itself. It made sense. You know, the chickens go into an area, there's not much food, let's not have very many babies. Oh, there's a lot of food, let's have lots of babies. True. That kind of thing. However, these jungle fowl lived next to bamboo. And bamboo was the secret to discovering why chickens were so amazing and how they came to be our domesticated chickens today, just 5,000 years ago. You see, bamboo does something very, very strange. Bamboo just grows in the ground. In fact, you don't even really need to water it very much. It's just grows. It's incredible and makes valuable wood. You can use it to build homes. You can use it for gutters, piping. You can use it for flooring. This stuff is incredible. And it just grows for 50 years. And every 50 years, all of the bamboo within an area at the exact same time instantly dies. What? And it sprouts out this flower here that you see here. They call this bamboo rice. And so this happens once every 50 years. So almost half of a century, just out of nowhere, it just goes, they all die, pops out, and then they start new bamboo shoots, and it all starts all over again. Wow. Yeah, so that's how bamboo grows, and it's a bizarre phenomenon. You can imagine 50 years you have to wait before this pops off, and so people aren't really taking note of this. But what they did take note of was a massive chicken plague that would pop up out of nowhere. So one of these bamboo things goes off, and then all of a sudden the chicken population just explodes. There's chickens everywhere. They're running through the forest. They're going into the cities. They're going into towns. They're going and eating up crops. They're tearing up gardens. They're like, why are there all these chickens? And their grass is exploding. They're freaking out. There's a whole festival around it. But why the chickens? Where are they coming from? They have no idea. But one guy, rather than just getting mad at the chicken plague, thought, wait a minute. All of these chickens showed up right around the time the bamboo forest exploded. So he goes inside the bamboo forest. and he finds some of the jungle fowl rustling around, and he sees them all pecking at the bamboo, and he thinks to himself, he's like, there's bamboo rice on the ground. It looks like they're eating a lot. Maybe that's why they're having so many babies. But I don't know. Maybe it's the bamboo. Maybe the bamboo is the secret. The bamboo rice is what allows them to grow. Maybe it's a superfood, right? And so he captures up some of the jungle fowl, brings them home, and he begins to experiment on them. Wow. So at first, he goes and takes these eggs. He takes these jungle fowl, and he just gives them regular food. And they do what they had seen before. It's just, sort of, an egg every 3 or 4 days, just giving them a standard amount of food. But then he tries giving them bamboo rice, the bamboo rice that's laying on the ground, and gives them a normal amount. And for some reason, they're still only putting out 3 or 4 eggs a day, or 3 to 4 eggs. 1 egg every 3 to 4 days. My apologies. Got them mixed up in my head. So he's having this problem here where he gives them regular food, 1 egg every 3 to 4 days. He gives them bamboo, 1 egg every 4 days. Then he thinks, well, what's the difference? Well, there's a ton of bamboo rice, right? So he tosses all this bamboo rice in here, and they just gobble it all up, and they start doing massive egg production. And so he's like, I figured it out. So the bamboo rice is what causes the egg production to skyrocket. And the more I give them, the more eggs they get. That's why it worked, because there was so much around. Well, then he finally tries it with regular food, and not just bamboo rice, and egg production goes to 1 egg a day as well. So he had figured it out. Now, they had tried to keep this secret. They were not trying to expose their sneaky chicken powers, but the man figured it out, and they were no match. 5,000 years ago, the man solved the mystery of the eggs. But the war was not over, because just knowing the superpower wasn't enough, and so began a 500-year journey to domesticate the chickens so that they could become common household chickens that we know today. But once they got domesticated, the chicken became a rock star. Chickens became the most popular creature around. They spread throughout every known place in the world. These guys were everywhere. Wherever humans lived, chickens are now found. In fact, to this day, there are 7 chickens for every person on the planet Earth. They have crushed, and there is a good reason for it. 1 chicken puts out an egg a day. A small flock of 6 chickens could feed a family of 4, giving them all the healthy fats, proteins. They're putting out the best foods in the world. The chicken can be used for meat. They can then also be turned into broth. Having a small flock of chickens was literally an entire food supply for a family, for anyone, and it's virtually non-existent cost of money. As long as you move them around to different patches of land and let them feed, they will pick on bugs, they'll eat grass. These things are legends, and that, my friends, is why chickens are incredible. And that is the history of chickens. That is how we achieved chickenosity and where we got to where we are today. That, my friends, is today's History's Mystery. Woo! How we doing? Chicken
Fantastic.
facts. You liking them chicken facts?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm stoked about them. I really, really want to figure out a way to get chickens, but I know we can't do them here with this place, and gotta get some chickens, man.
We can get them soon.
I really want to get them.
I know. We'll get them soon.
Neg a
Don't
day.
worry.
We'll stick with our farmer friends, but, farmer's market.
Yeah.
All right. History of chickens. How are we doing in chat? How are we feeling about chickens?
Wonderful. Yeah, just Sherlock Owl is questioning my knowledge of her birthday.
Ooh, I see.
Yes.
So, did we help
well,
overcome the fear of the chickens?
Deadpool Owl is not here
Uh-oh.
that I can see.
Maybe
so
he ran away
he
in
ran
terror?
away.
That makes
I think
sense.
So, yeah. Maybe the FBI chickens got him.
Interesting.
But,
Okay.
yeah, and Christian wants to get owlified today.
Nice. All right. Well, that is today's History's Mysteries. Let's move on to another incredible video, shall we? Oh, or we could look at a cute picture of chickens. Look at them. Oh yeah, that's a heck of a chicken. Woo!
Heck of a chick.
All right, least scary polar bear video ever. We're going to be watching a rare occurrence on this show, which is a large, beastly animal not killing people. I'm pretty sure this was taken in Vodka Owl's home. Vodka Owl, or my apologies. What is it? Time and Death Owl?
Yes, now it's Time and Death.
Time and Death Owl. Can you please confirm this is true? Let me know in the comments below. He makes some s'mores for a polar bear and feeds him through his window. Oh, I would not touch that snout, man.
Нос холодный у него? Не как у собаки.
I know. Hop through the window and kill all of them. Oh my word. Jeez. What?
That can't be a wild bear.
It's a
Его
wild
мяса надо
polar bear.
килограммов 5.
That's what they said, at least. You know, who knows?
Ну все,
Absolutely
гуляй.
crazy. Look how big his paw
Все,
is.
до свидания.
That, my friends, is a Russian feeding a polar bear through a window. I don't. Maybe it's a peace offering. I'm not sure, but
Wow.
pretty epic, right? I wouldn't recommend
Terrifying.
trying
No,
that
I
at
wouldn't
home
even.
at all, ever,
No.
in any
What
circumstance.
happens when you run out of s'mores?
Exactly. Close up the window. His paw's
Still
right
gonna be
there.
hungry.
Not gonna
You
happen.
break through the glass.
Absolutely insane.
No way. There's no way.
Chickens are being used to fight in Iraq. Not a joke. What?
What? How is that not a joke? Chickens are being used.
Explain. So what are we talking about? Are we talking like we
Like-
strap like a bomb to a chicken and then just like detonate them? That's I see. That could be a pretty effective.
How is that effective?
I could see chickens being used for spying too. You could like put a collar on them, a sound device, and then send them out, and they just peck out in the field. They'll keep themselves alive, and you could spy on the enemy. What are other ways that we could use chickens for war?
Wow, I don't know.
Perhaps we could find a way to poison their eggs so that people would use them, eat the eggs, and then die. That could be another way.
Maybe. Or put bombs in the eggs.
I don't know how you would get the bombs in the eggs.
Maybe
That seems like it would be a little
bombs.
difficult. I could see them being used by the military to supply themselves with foods. Like war pigs were a very common creature. If you got some war chickens.
Athena's owl says they are like canaries in a coal mine. They're for detecting chemicals.
Oh, okay. So it's like detecting
Chickens are good at
poisons.
that?
I guess chickens are good at everything.
What?
They're incredible. Yeah, they're wonderful creatures.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm pretty impressed. I will now know another. I hope that I didn't just give a bunch of terrorist bad ideas to use chickens for. My apologies. I was just being creative. All of those ideas probably won't work. I'm a crazy wizard on the internet. Please don't try any of those things that I said at home.
None of them will work.
I was brainstorming in a hypothetical universe that doesn't exist in my world, okay? So just don't take any of that too seriously. Let's move on to the next segment, shall we? Wizard Academy and the Arcane Arts. Today we are exploring the ENTJ personality type. So we are almost at the end of our personality segment. I've probably repeated a few of the personalities at this point, but we have 2 left after this one, and this is the Myers-Briggs personality test. You can take this by going to 16 personalities. Just Google that on Google. It'll pop up. We also have one. OPVs, if you want to drop it in chat. Personality tests, same thing. We send you a little PDF. It'll say that we're trying to get you on for a call. It's not for a call unless you really want to. Let us know. We do have a call-in show now, which is awesome.
True, yeah.
That being said, this is to better understand yourself and get to know who you are. And so we're looking at the different people that you can be and the character that you start out with, and then what do you want to build yourself into. What strengths, weaknesses do you work? And this is not set in stone. This is just who you are in this moment. These things can change. So don't feel like you're locked into anything. But I find that when you take these tests, it's better to lean into your strengths and avoid your weaknesses. And you'll find a lot of results. And if that works for you, then keep doing it. And if not, you have to experiment and see what works for you. So that is the disclaimer of sorts here on the ENTJ. Let's take a look at this personality type. What's up, O'Peeves?
I cannot find the link.
Oh, okay.
it on
If you
your
search
website?
Ask a Wizard Magic personality test into Google, it should pop right up.
I can't get to your website.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out in a bit. So, the ENTJ. Their first concern is what needs to be done and what is the best way to do it. They are accomplishers and they want to do things in the real world. Though they have an oddly self-conscious nature when speaking in front of large groups of people, and despite giving off an air of confidence whenever they're talking in more smaller groups, they can come off as a little bit nervous and shy on stage, or like there's something that is not quite, there's something just quite off, but it oftentimes comes off as kind of charismatic and cool, and people enjoy this. They tend to approach interactions with people in a way that is based on a system. So they'll think about, I'm going to say this and try and get to this end goal for a conversation. Now, this can be a skill that's mastered and allows them to become great communicators. However, it always tends to come off as fake and a little bit pre-planned. And so everyone's always able to tell on this. The way that they get good at this is by taking that planned nature that's unnatural and making it sound really good. And so it's well thought out, and the best way to describe this is what you would call political speak, or the way a politician speaks. You know, it's like when you see Obama come up and he's like, and I will think about how we are going to take on this challenge. And I see that there are many challenges in front of us, and frankly, I think we can handle it. It doesn't feel real. No normal person talks that way, but it also doesn't feel unnatural. It's a weird mixture. It's almost like a performance art. They do like to spar with their ideas. They love jumping in and poking other people's ideas and finding out whose idea is right. However, unlike the ENTP, they actually care about what the other people think and feel. And so they will usually lean off on this trait and not go in full force and destroy people. But they do like to spar with ideas. And again, unlike the ENTP, they have this tendency to want to be seen as successful. They care what other people think, and because of this, they don't just want to be a success like the ENTP does, but they want to be known and seen as successful. They want other people to look at them and say, wow, that guy talks, speaks, acts, and dresses successfully. Look how amazing he is. And so that, my friends, is the ENTJ in a nutshell. Let's jump on into their strengths and weaknesses, shall we? Oh, actually, now let's take a look at some of their characters. My apologies. Let's take a look at the archetypes of the ENTJ. So these are the archetypes in the shadows. These are the fully expressed forms of this personality. This is to say every person who has this personality is like these. This is just what they look like at their extremes. So on the good side of things, we have the Prince Charming archetype. This is, my gosh, Prince Charming. The Charming Prince, the invert of that. The Charming Prince archetype. So what that means is this is an archetype of someone who has a nobility to them. They seem to come off as a bit posh sometimes. They seem to be following rules of etiquette. That's a common feel that you get from them. The second archetype would be like an aristocrat, very similarly, but not as... You don't look at them and think this person's a king, this person's royalty, but more like the third archetype, which is the commander. This is someone who a general might appoint to strategize and help a team of people go out and crush, but you don't see them as the high-end leader type, more of a strategic mastermind of sorts. On the shadow side, we have the tyrant. So this is someone who is, you think of the... a general, an evil general, like the one that was presented in Achilles, the movie. The second one you have is the utopianist. You see this with George Soros and Bill Gates, where they come up with these imaginary worlds of perfection that can never exist and then lead to the deaths and genocide of millions. That they can produce these kinds of things because they're trying to make perfection that can't exist. And finally, you have the evil mastermind archetype. For example, Plankton from... the SpongeBob show. He's ENTJ, and that personality type is very well expressed in that character. So that is the archetypes and the shadows. Let's hop into the characters, but did you need something?
No.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the characters here. Now, keep in mind, can you go back? Keep in mind, these guys are, the pictures here are different from the list. The list is more accurate. These are just collages that were put together on the internet of various characters. So let's take a look here. On the types with this personality, we got Aristotle, my favorite philosopher. We have Gary V, the just over-the-top energy, positivity, motivational speaker guy. Below him, we got Steve Jobs, the guy who invented the iPhone. We have Julius Caesar, the legendary leader himself. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the guy... That was me saying talks like this in Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
Oh my gosh.
Napoleon Bonaparte, the legend. Mr. Beast of internet fame. Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time. Don Draper from Mad Men. Count Dooku from Star Wars. Paul Joseph Watson, a news reporter. Light Yagami from Death Note. Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. Ursula from The Little Mermaid, not to be confused with Ursula the Liar. Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. Bane from Batman. Voldemort from Harry Potter. George Soros from Hell. And Bill Gates from Dante's Inferno. And so that is the list of personality types there and different characters. And that's to give you an idea of who they are and what they are like. Now let's take a look at their strengths and their weaknesses. So on the strength side, these people are strong leaders of small groups of people. They are the guy that you want. It's like the coach almost of the team. These guys are legends. They're very self-assured and extremely organized. One thing that I'm very greedy of the ENTJ, what the ENTJ has that I want is his organizational skills. Man, I wish I could do that. And I can't. I am chaos incarnate. They are good at making decisions. They are assertive and outspoken. Strong communication skills. They're charismatic, strong-willed, and strategic thinkers. So you put these things all together and they make one heck of a team leader and commander of people. Now let's take a look into the weaknesses. So on the weakness side, we have the impatience. This is kind of the vulnerability of the ENTJ. Same thing with the ENTP. We want things, boom. If it can't be done in 3 months, what's the point of even trying? They can also be very stubborn. They will stick to what they think is right, regardless of the fact that all objective evidence seems to point to the contrary, which is different from the ENTP. We like to change our minds. They can be very insensitive to people. I know, I get it. Same thing. Insensitive to people. You see it with Frieza, where he mocks at people for genociding their race. You see that with Light Yagami, who gets people to kill themselves because of their... he thinks he has a better vision, a utopia vision for the world. This, again, ties in with another weakness, is they're extremely aggressive. They like to fight. They like to pick fights. They can also be very arrogant. This is a common trait that you see is arrogance, cold ruthlessness, and finally, they're very intolerant of people who stand in the way of their ideas. So that is the weaknesses of the ENTJ, and that is the ENTJ personality type for you guys. Boom! We only got two left, and I can see by our numbers plummeting that people are not interested in the personality types anymore. I get it, but we gotta finish it. We gotta get 2 more.
Yeah, when we only have 2 left.
2 left, we'll be done,
crunch it out.
and then we shall move forward into new adventures.
Yes. So
Like cooking eggs.
Yes.
That's the thing with this show, is we are always changing and adapting everything. It's never the same show. You know, you go and you scroll through some of these guys on YouTube, and you go 5 years back, and the only thing that's changed is it's a slightly better definition of camera and a better microphone. And they're just doing the same exact speech. It's like, can you believe fill in the blank political group did this? I would never do that because I believe in fill in the blank idea they heard on the news. And then they go, what do you think? Right? Aren't they the big dumb? Wow. And that's the whole show. That's the entire premise of the show. And they just talk about it for about an hour and a half. And then
just over and over.
They're like, okay, so what's a headline on Twitter? Okay, what does everyone believe? Let me say the opposite so I get attention. Boom. And that's it. It's quite boring, if you ask me. Have you ever encountered this personality type of Peeves?
Not that I know of in my real life.
In real life?
I can think.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know of anyone like this. I've watched a few Gary Vee videos, and I don't. With that, I mean, he's a weird guy. he's got he's got a little too much.
True.
Yeah, he's a little too driven for me. I'm glad I have that extra bit of chaos because I wouldn't want to be that obsessed. It seems like a really miserable life to live. He seems very unhappy.
Gary Vee.
Yeah. I can't imagine being joyful and happy with just every single day the same thing over and over and over. I need variety, you know? That would be so... Ugh. It's like, but I could be the best. Who cares? You could also just do amazing things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more my cup of tea.
Deadpool Owl is wondering, are we going to do scary videos today?
Yes, we are when we get to the paranormal paracosm. It does appear that everyone likes a call-in show more, though. That's what I'm judging by these numbers. Let me know in the chat if that's true. Let's find out. All right. And the pirate show, of course. So, with that, let's move on to our first round of live wizard reading, shall we? By the way, if you don't have your self-learning course yet, it's free. Hit the little blue box. It's a disclaimer. Click the link. Sign up there. You'll access a course that will... do what the education system has failed to do, which is teach you how to think and how to read and how to write and how to learn. It is a comprehensive destruction of the entire education system from top to bottom and a replacement for it, as well as a library with resources to continue your education and become one of the few proud people who actually knows how to think in the world today. And let me tell you, it's a lot smaller than you think. Now, with that being said, let's move on to our live wizard readings. Who's up first?
Ducky Owl.
Ducky. Oh, hold on. Sherlock Owl was first like of the day. I saw her liking that thing at 6:20.
Wow.
6:20 she liked
Does she
it.
want a reading, though?
Oh, did she not ask for a reading? Okay,
No.
that's fine. That's fine. I thought we were trying to do some... I just remember when I posted that live, a minute later, Sherlock is like, first like. I was like, how did she know? I even said hi to her in chat. It was an experience.
Yeah.
Very impressive, Sherlock Owl.
So yeah, up first is Ducky Owl.
All right.
And then
anything in particular
after
for
that
Ducky Owl?
is Deadpool Owl. Nothing in particular that she has said yet.
Sweet.
She just said yay
Woo!
in the chat.
Alrighty, let's see here. By the way, boys and girls, if you'd like to support the stream and upgrade your reading to a 3-card reading, all you need to do is go to paypal.me/askawizard and pay whatever you think a reading is worth at the end of your reading, and you will get a 3-card reading for that, and whatever you want. All right, let's get rid of this fruit fly here, and let's get Ducky Owl's reading started here. Ooh, very interesting. So I know that you had mentioned applying for a new job, and what we see popping up here is the 5 of Pentacles. This is a disruption in the material. So what this is saying is be prepared. This is going to be a lot of work. This is not going to be something super easy. So let's not take this lightly. We're trying something new. We're jumping into a new environment, and we got to be prepared to work hard and to practice and to probably mess up a few times. And we got to make sure we're not getting angry at other people. We need to realize that if we're starting something new, it's probably us, and let's take personal responsibility and try to fix the problems. So this card is a great card to see popping up when you first start a job, because this is the kind of mindset that you want to have, and that mindset is that there are a lot of people who will mess up, make mistakes in the beginning of a job, and our instinct sometimes is to project that onto other people, or at least that's what I've experienced from working with a lot of people. And the key to really growing and being successful in any career is to do the opposite of that, to say to yourself, how am I a mistake? How am I failing at this job right now? How could I be doing this better? Even when there are other people responsible for the problem, you have to be able to ignore that and keep asking yourself that question. Because even if it's not fair, even if it doesn't make sense, even if it's not a good time, even if everything is against you, having that mindset is what makes you successful in a career in the long term. And so even if it doesn't help you at that job or at that time, it will help you in the long run. So keep that mindset and you will get through it. And that is what we see popping up there for you. Duckiel, I hope that helps you out. I hope that gives you some insights. Let me know in the comments below and we'll move on to the next reading.
Duckiel said, I haven't even started. I don't get it. Is this a future telling?
This is a principle telling. So this is telling you if when you're going out and applying for jobs, when you're going out and getting jobs, to keep that in mind. So for example, you go in for an interview and you don't get the job. The common reaction from people is to say, oh, they suck. They don't get it. They're wrong. No. You need to say, man, I screwed up. I sucked. Maybe I can ask them, hey, why did you reject me? Could you give me some feedback? Because I'm trying to find a job right now and I want to know how I can do a better job. And being the person who takes full responsibility for those things, first off, if you're going into a lower end job, a starter job, that alone might get you hired. The fact that you just reached out to them, even though they said, no, we're not going to give you the job, and you said, that's fine, I want to know how to improve, that is such a valuable skill that companies will snatch that up at a lower tier job group because that's so incredible. Take full responsibility for it. That is the key.
Duckiel said, I just had an interview. I've been worried. No, that's how.
I'm not sure what that means, but I'm going to take it that this advice sounds...
how I've been. I don't know.
I'm not sure, but that sounds like the advice would be perfectly applicable if you just started looking for jobs and getting interviews and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, she says, I've been stressed. They're supposed to call me tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
And I've been stressed about myself.
That's very nice about them for them to call you, too. A lot of jobs, they won't even call you. They just never call you back, so... Just keep playing the game. Keep pulling it. 10 resumes a day. You do that for 3-4 weeks, you'll have a job.
So she's been stressed about herself, not them.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right, so who's up next?
Up next is Deadpool Owl.
Deadpool Owl, if you are here, let us know in the comments below. We'll get your reading started shortly. I'm so stoked for learning how to make eggs. Oh, you guys don't understand. Learning how to make eggs better is like, first off, it's a money saving thing. You're gonna save so much money from doing this because you are able to cook gourmet style food with a really cheap ingredient, and it improves the quality of your life so much. To go from crappy sugary cereal to 3 egg omelet with some fresh veggies in the morning, it really changes everything. And you can do them very quickly too. Like soft boiled eggs, you can cook soft boiled eggs in like 5 to 6 minutes and they're ready to go. You get a piece of toast on the oven, heat it up both sides, chop it into pieces, put a little butter and anchovy mix or butter and herbs, and you can dip it into the soft boiled eggs. Legendary.
Yeah, I'm excited to make Scotch eggs again because the first time I overcooked them.
Yeah.
So this time I'm gonna get it.
Scotch eggs are something OPV's been working on. They're pretty advanced. We're not going to teach those ones because the Scotch eggs require frying, and also it's super difficult to get the perfect texture on a Scotch egg because you have to boil and then boil again. So that understanding that temperature is difficult. Well, not boil again. Boil and then fry.
Yeah. So Duckiel said they have to make a decision because other people had interviews today and after me. I'm so nervous because I know I didn't do well. Most likely someone did better than I did.
Well, typically if you're looking at a job, like for example, like McDonald's or Subway or Starbucks, they're not just looking to hire for like one person. Typically they're talking about an area. And so I wouldn't be too concerned about being that as the problem so much as, especially in those types of jobs, it's really just about conveying that you're not going to lie, that you can work as a team. The way they see it is like, hey, we've got a slot that could be making $25 an hour. Let's fill that in with someone that we can pay for $10 an hour. That's a $15 an hour profit. It's just a math equation in those. When a company is that big, everything is just a math equation when you get to the bottom B to C, the business to consumer side of things. And so it really isn't, they're looking for like amazing skills. They're going to say all of that stuff because their HR department forces it, but they don't care at all. They could care less who you are, your name, your age, any of that. They care. Can this person accomplish the job? And Are they going to steal from us? Are they going to lie to us? If you just don't do those things, you're going to be able to get a job. It's fairly easy.
She said no, the way she said it looked like they were looking for one.
Interesting.
Looking for one.
Well, we'll guess you'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything from Deadpool, Al, so who's up next?
Up next is Corey, and he said, can I get a reading for love? Awesome.
All right, Corey, let's get you a reading for love. Do 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 do. Ooh, we got the Chariot. All right, so what this is saying is that you are in a good position to start making new relationships. So what this is saying, or growing an existing one, is you have a plan in mind. You know what you're looking for. You know what you want from life. You've weighed out your pros and cons of your plan. You've figured out, what do I need to sacrifice to get what I want? Now is the time to take action, and this is the part where most guys get cold feet. This is going out and saying, I know what I want. I know who I'm looking for. Now let's go out and start conversations with them. Boom, and then they stop. And then they don't do it. And then they don't do it. And then they put it off. And then they open a Tinder app and they swipe right like 5 times. And then they close out of the app and never use it again. And then they say that they're going to go to a local event. And then instead they play video games. And then they never do anything. And so what we got to do is not do that. We got to take action to make things happen in our lives. And so a great place to start is to find a hobby that you have. Find a group that meets up for that. That could be online or that can be in person. And just go to that and have fun, have a good time, and then see if you meet anyone there that you like. And from there, you can start conversation and talk about things that you guys both have an interest. Church is another great place to do this, bookshops, things like that. And so that would be my recommendation for you. I hope that you have success and do not take a rejection as a failure. Remember that the beginnings of datings is like sales. It's a numbers game. You will have to talk to quite a few people before you find someone who matches perfectly and that you guys can make an amazing relationship with and become good partners. So that's what we see popping up there for you. I hope that helps you out and gives you some insights.
Corey said, I already have a boyfriend, but something I was worried about in my future could go under the topic love in general.
Interesting. So
they already have a boyfriend.
Got it. So then that would mean taking the taking action on there in regards to love. And what was she saying for in regards to love?
But something I was worried about in my future could go under the topic of love in general. So she's worried about something in her future? Oh,
well, I can't predict the future for you, but what I can tell you, the Chariot, so let's adjust the narrative here, your character. So for the Chariot in regards to already being in a relationship, in regards to love, is saying that you guys are ready to go out and take action on your plan together. So you guys have been sitting around thinking about your futures and thinking about where you want your direction to be, and now is the time to stop thinking about these things. We actually have to start putting them into play. And a lot of times in a relationship that can be like, hey, are we actually going to do this? Are we going to actually commit to getting healthier? Are we going to actually commit to starting a business? Something along those lines. So that's what it would be for that situation that you're in.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Duckiella said, Corey said I know.
Woo!
So, and Duckiella said the lady she was interviewing with didn't seem like she had a personality. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't hear what she was saying because she was sitting like 8 feet away for the stupid social distancing. And it was loud. And she was like, I can't hear you. Sorry. Can you repeat that? And she seemed annoyed.
Yeah, well, that you have to factor in, especially when you're working with bigger corporations. They're not making money. There's a reason Subway is on the way down. It's not going to be big, and it's because they're too big. And as long as you're too big, what ends up happening is you get this tumor that's called an HR department, which is a useless organization that produces no value. In fact, it's a net loss across the board for all companies. HR is not a valuable aspect of a company. And so what happens is you get this tumor that latches on and it pushes horrible, evil ideas through the pipelines and affects the entire company, just like cancer does. And as it spreads, it forces people to say specific scripts rather than speak the truth. And so eventually you get to the point where the bigger a company becomes, people at the bottom of the chain of a company literally cannot speak a single word of their own. They have to follow a script down to the letter. And for example, an employer in California is not allowed to say anything about their former employer other than, yes, they worked here. Yes, they left on this date. That's the only thing they're allowed to say. If they say anything else with an HR department, they can be sued for ungodly amounts of money. And that's all because of what HR has pushed into the company. So you got to realize that in the interview, that they're thinking, I just don't want to get sued. And then also they're in this situation where they're following a fake rule for a fake disease that doesn't have any issue whatsoever. And so that's probably annoying for them too. So you don't know what mindset they're in when you go into the interview. So you just can only control what you can control, which is doing the best that you can do. And in that kind of position, don't lie. Tell them why you're going to show up and do the job and why you can work in a team without freaking out and punching your coworker. If you do that, and you're not going to steal from them, they're probably going to hire you.
Let's see. So up next is Snowy Owl, and they would just like a normal reading, please.
All right.
Snowy Owl is sneaky gaming.
Sneaky. Snowy Owl, let's get to a reading. My apologies. Oh, and I'm sorry, what did they want the reading on?
Just a normal reading.
So we got the 9 of Swords popping up here for you, Snowy Owl. So what this represents is being in a situation of attainment of new knowledge. So what this is saying is that you've gained some knowledge recently that kind of upset you, that really led to some negative experiences. And it's important to realize that this can suck. This can feel like betrayal. This can feel bad. But realize that you've learned it rather than experienced it. And that's a big deal. It's saying that, hey, while this really does suck to find out, at least I'm learning about it in my head rather than having to experience the consequences of not knowing it in my life. And so that's the silver lining in these situations. When we find something out that sucks or lets us down, at least it's out of the way now and you can avoid it in the future. So that's what I see popping up there for you. I hope that helps you out, Snowy Owl, and we'll move on to another reading. Or actually, no, that's the last reading, right?
That's 3.
Boom! All right. So that, my friends, is the Live Wizard readings. How are we doing in chat? Are we doing okay, guys?
We're doing good. Ducky Owl says she got a 3 out of 5 on her application.
I have no idea what that means.
Me neither. Like a test?
Yeah.
A test?
Do you think they're doing tests at the... I can't imagine.
She said, and they were saying that I scored low on certain things that weren't me.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Interesting. I thought they weren't even allowed.
I'm terrible at interviews, and I told Ducky
Yeah.
Owl it's just a numbers game.
Yeah, it really is. It's just a numbers game.
Just
Oh,
like
Alex
the
is
relationship.
horrendous at interviews.
Horrible.
It's kind of infuriating, really. It's
Yeah.
like, ugh. But if
It's
you,
like a disability, honestly.
yeah, if you just keep throwing your resume at people and
Just
standing in
keep
front of
doing
them,
it.
you can get a good conversion rate. Not a good conversion rate. You'll have a bad conversion rate, but you'll be able to get a job even if you suck.
Just gotta pump through 'em.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Snowy Owl says thanks.
No problem at all. All right.
But yeah.
Well, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah. Oh,
To the next incredible video. One big fish. I did not know this fish existed, and now I do, and I want to catch one and eat it. Let me show you.
I'm excited.
This is mind-boggling. It's called a Napoleon fish. Look at this. It's as big as a guy. Look at that thing. Right? Oh, imagine you're out deep sea fishing and you reel up one of these bad boys. What do you even do? You just wheeled up a bear onto your deck. It's insanity. There are. It's crazy. What's up? Yeah, I went with you. And took you multiple
there were big
times.
fish like
Not
that
that big. I want to find
They
out.
are big.
Napoleon fish. Oh, hold on. Can you eat Napoleon fish? Let's find out. Let's figure this out here. The Humphead Wrasse National Aquarium, Animal Crossing, a Napoleon fish. Fishing species, how to fish. You can catch this reef dweller by drifting, bottom fishing, jiggling heavy sticks. All right, well, let's take a look here. Napoleon fish recipes. Let's see what that looks like here. Napoleon fish recipe. Come on. Come on. Oh, wow, that's a lot of ads there, isn't it? Oh, geez. Okay, that's just an enormous amount of ads. Nothing really there. Napoleon's recipe, classic French Napoleon. I don't know. I'm not seeing much. I guess not finding information that I'm looking for, so we won't find out here. Let's try it with Google. Let's see if Google's better than DuckDuckGo, shall we? Napoleon fish recipe. All right, Napoleon fish recipe. Buttered grilled snapper recipe. Napoleon fish. How to cook Napoleon fish. Oh, same scam website. All right, so DuckDuckGo on par with the failure of DuckDuckGo. All right, so that is the incredible video. We're going to be moving on into the paracosmic stuff here. So this is going to be paranormal paracosm, and so there will be spooky videos, ghost videos, scary videos. So if you're under 18, now is the time to head on off to sleepy time, and we are going to head on into the paranormal paracosm. So this feels so short because I'm used to doing 5-hour shows now.
I know,
it's
right?
very odd.
I was just thinking how getting back to this format is kind of like,
it feels odd.
It feels choppy now.
Yeah.
Like I'm like trying to do everything.
I don't know. I think we got to figure out. We're going to have to make some updates to this because the audience isn't happy with it, clearly. I mean, obviously, Sherlock, I was a fan, but we got to figure out how to make this better. I think that the current form, the call-in show, the pirate show, we need something that's a longer form thing that is like the event for the night. I wonder if we could just maybe theme it more around a more intuitive, a more natural, like, hey, we're going to talk about this historical mystery today. Watch a documentary on it, see what people are thinking. There's a lot of ways that we could go about this, I think, that we can improve. Good night, Ducky Owl. See you later. All right, so with that, we're going to head off to the paranormal paracosm. That's our little disclaimer. If you're under 18, please get your parents' permission before enjoying this stuff. Let's look at the first paranormal paracosm. A ghostly guest walks in with a guy. So this guy is going for a walk, and he is going to experience some ghostly phenomenon. We're heading over to India. So at first they're just kind of doing some casual strolling here. So let's take a look at the first one here. This is 2 different sightings, by the way. Car almost hits the guy with the camera. Let's take a look again. Go on. Got him. Got him. Go on. All right, let's see. Slow motion. Where are we? Can I get a little circle, perhaps? That would be nice. A little circle would be great. Where is it? What? I'm not seeing this first one. Are you seeing it?
I don't see anything.
Oh, here we go. We got a circle. We got a circle. Wait, what? Is this the wrong video? Oh my gosh. I think this is the wrong video.
Is it? What is this?
I don't. It's just like a
Is this
shadow.
An animal attack?
I don't know.
An elephant
Not
attack.
sure. I pulled up another one here. It was showed at the guy walking down the street corner. not sure why this isn't the right one here. However,
Been sabotaged.
I have to subdue this failure of this video, which I get the ghost vibe it's going for here. How about we watch a boat drop an anchor on a ship, shall we? This is my appeasement to you. That was a bad video, so let's watch this one. That's a rough day in a nutshell. I want to watch. Does this guy fly? Boom. Jeez, man. That's insane. Absolutely insane. All right, so that was a bad ghost video. What's up? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just seeing the video. That's
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
I'm on a delay.
So that is the first ghost video. Not so good, dropping the ball there, but that's all right. I think that we will go back into the flow of things. Now, this next one I've confirmed for sure. I watched a few minutes of it. This is the worst crib tour ever. This is an MTV Cribs investigation. Now, is this one paranormal? Not so much. What is instead is disturbing and terrifying. This is a horror movie in a nutshell. So what happened here is this man uploaded a tour of his home, a tour of his home in the middle of nowhere, just posted on YouTube as if it's the most normal thing, and is completely unaware that the place that he lives in is, shall we say, less than usual, a little unordinary.
Really?
Yeah, and so the entire internet blew up around this thing. It's now 2 million views. People are like, what is this, a horror video? It was so bad that he had to come in to his description and put my house walkthrough, and then put, this is not a horror video. This video was created simply by filming the inside of my house.
Oh my god.
Because some people were so mean to him in the comments. They thought this was the setup for like a spooky movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I think
This
now
is
is the time.
danger with the internet.
Yeah, I think
It
now
can
is the
be
time.
Very mean. If you're too soft.
Let's get this nice and spooky here. Oh, I think we'll go like this. Let's go.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, we'll get the lantern here. Very nice. Okay. So he says the sound of wind woke him up in the night. Oh. Oh my god. Dude, what in the world? He's like in a Japanese horror movie. This is where when you go to Not Scary Farm, the Japanese themed one, and the ninjas pop out and kill you. Woo! My word. Oh my gosh, he's got creepy old photos all over the wall. There's bullet marks in all the paintings. What is this? Why is everything torn up to shreds? What are you doing with your... My gosh, man. Whew. This picture of my mother when she was a child. Why don't... Oh, my word. I don't understand how you get to this point in your life. Like, how do you not... If he seems to have respect for his grandparents and his parents here... How do you let their home get like this then? Like, how... This isn't something like, oh, well, he was poor. Like, it doesn't matter if you're poor. That's not going to affect... It doesn't get like this. You could have no money, and you can go and take your t-shirt, and you can wipe up the dust. You can not just let all of your paper walls just be torn to pieces. This is not acceptable.
And why is he going through with a flashlight?
He has no power. He has no lights.
Really?
That's the whole thing. Yeah, none of it's lit up. I think his only power he has is his computer room. And he's a cave dweller who plays video games. What is that creepy music? This is bathroom. I hear a sutra. I don't know what that means. What is a sutra? My grandfather is always listening to sutra from the radio. Okay, so there's other people living with him in this house. Oh my gosh. There's one light. The wall peels off from the ceiling when it rains. He's going through a typhoon right now.
What?
Jeez. This is his room. His mats are terribly damaged. Jeez, man. There's a picture from around World War II, and it's just, rotting away, being destroyed. Why? Like, what? How many missteps do you need to make in your life to get to this point? Like, I can't understand how you could get to this. I don't understand it. Like, even if I bought this place scratch, I would have this fixed within a month, and I certainly wouldn't be living in it in this condition. That's unacceptable. What in the world? What goes through a person's mind? How do you descend to this level of person? I'm a loss for words. What do you think, Copeeves?
Yeah, I'm the same. It's just like...
It's a huge house, too.
Every single paper square is, like, punched out.
Every one of them. Why?
Every single one of them. And Sherlock Owl says, that's a house?
It's a Japanese house, yeah.
And Snowy Owl says, God bless him, Jesus, I'd have a heart attack.
Right? I don't understand.
I wouldn't be able to live there.
No. It's unacceptable. And it's a huge house, too. He said this is the longest hallway a few times. I don't trust him anymore. This is my grandmother's bedroom. Did we reset? I think we did.
Really? Is that why the hallway is so long?
Yeah. Here we go. This is new. A lot of dress of my grandmother. My grandmother is not here. The holes eaten by insects have turned black like bloodstains. Ugh. Oh my gosh.
We just had
Verbo.
the most amazing family vacation.
If you want to be a haunted location like this, try Verbo. This is a doll room. Oh gosh, there's creepy Japanese dolls in it. Oh no. No, 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 no. The walls. The Empress doll is rotten too. Oh no. Why does he keep saying his grandmother's not here? I don't get it. Woo. Dude, how many freaking hallways do you have? I think we're back at the ends. Ceiling has a rat nest above the ceiling. Oh. The holes have eaten by insects have turned to black blood stains. Oh no. No one has been in this room for a very long time. This is my room. I don't get this ending. What's going on? Is everything just becoming distorted? What's happening? Did I miss something here? Is this like a permanent loop? I don't get it. Maybe he's the ghost? I don't know. Whew! Now what's really bizarre, and this is the plot twist of the century. What do you think happened to this person?
What do you mean? What
Do you think dead, suicide, murdered, sick, hospitalized? What do you think they're doing right now for work, job?
Still alive in the basement.
He does Minecraft streams.
No way.
He's a Minecraft streamer.
Really?
This was premiered
Can you see his
July
stream?
27. We're going to pull this up right now.
Oh my god.
He's a Minecraft streamer now.
The legacy of that.
Here it is. We got him up. This is him Minecraft streaming.
何あれ
What is that?
なんかあれ初めて見たような気が
I
する
saw
んだ
that for
け
the
ど
first time, I think.
これ新しいやつかな
This is what he does now. He's a Minecraft
と言っ
streamer.
てみます
Really?
ネザー
Yep.
転職し
About as boring as it can get.
No face cam.
これ
So that, my friends,
ネザーラ
is the very disturbing story
Oh, okay.
of the worst ever tour of someone's crib of all time. So that is investigating the investigators. What does the chat think? How are we doing?
Wow, just that it's a creepy house. They would not want to live there. They hate Snowy Owl hates long hallways.
Oof.
I did too.
Yeah, long hallways can be spooky.
Snowy Owl said maybe it was bankruptcy, so they just don't have money.
Still, like you don't let it get to that point in the first place. You know, it's like
Yeah.
okay, your power's down and whatnot. You can still keep the house clean and organized.
Takiella said, okay, maybe he needs a chillification.
Chillify his
Would
house.
you rather live in this house or the chillify?
Oh, that's a tough call. I think it would be funny to watch Chili's come and chillify his house, because when they chillify his house, they will keep all of the dirt and clutter and horror. They'll just slap neon chili signs all around
true.
it. That's what I
At
think would
least
happen.
There will be light,
Exactly.
right? So you'll be able to see.
There'll be some bright lights to highlight the horror show. Maybe that's why they keep the lights off. They keep the lights off so that they don't have to see
They don't
their
wanna have to
shame.
see it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Psychoanalyzing this here. So that, my friends, is the paranormal paracosm. Let's move on to the next one here.
Yeah.
Ghost communicates with light. So this guy claims that he has found a ghost who is communicating him via a flashing light. So let's take a look at that.
Also, for that first video we watched where it had the circle and
Only
you couldn't see anything,
Mhm.
Snowy Owl said there was a figure walking behind the lady. So maybe we could go back
Let's
and
take a look. Let's go revert. So Snowy Owl with a hawk eye claims to have spotted a spooky ghost.
Snowy Owl said it was a white, like, glow.
Let's go to the slow-mo version so that it's easier to spot it. All right. Oh, right there. So this lady right here. Let's get this on the big screen. This lady right here, and the ghost is like right in this area. I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, I see that. I see the spook. Let's watch it in slow-mo.
Spot the spook?
Nice catch by Snowy Owl right there. Very spooky. Okay, okay. Spooky attack. Spookers detected. Okay.
Very keen eye.
Very good work. Incredible. Incredible spotting job. All right, let's take a look here at the super. Okay, so this guy claims to have found a way to communicate with the ghost through the light.
Go on.
Slow it down.
Ah, it's really strong. Go on. Go on, really go. Go on.
So he claims the flashing of the light is a ghost attempting to communicate with him.
What do you need?
Woo! Turns off the light.
You leave it on now? Okay, I'll do
He
it.
asked it to leave it on and it stayed on, and then when he asked it to turn it off, it turned it off.
Thank you for that.
Jeez. Absolutely freaky. So what do you think of Babes? Do you think he's talking to a ghost? What's going on here?
I don't know. Snowy Owl says it's just dodgy lighting.
Yeah, but it seems to react to his command. So he's like,
Yeah.
hey, can you turn the lights on? Can you turn the lights off? That's a little weird.
Or maybe someone has a little
Ooh, a little controller. Maybe they're messing with it. Okay, okay.
that lever thing.
Yeah. Interesting. All right.
With today's technology and
Sherlock Owl's going with definitely a ghost.
Defiant ghost?
Defiant ghost. Oh. I thought it was definitely a ghost. Interesting.
Well, she spelled defiant.
Interesting. Okay, okay. So, I mean that's it, guys. That's the paranormal paracosm. So let's go ahead and hop on into the practical philosophy. This feels so weird.
So short.
It feels so short.
We're
It
like
feels
almost
like
done already?
we're almost
What?
done. Wow, this
Wow.
is so odd.
I feel weird.
I don't feel right with this. It's so... We're going to have to... Let's talk about
have
this
to
in the
adjust.
Discord. Let's chat in the Discord because this is a very odd feeling. But if you... And our numbers clearly are saying they're not happy pandas at all. So let's figure out what's going on. And we'll increase the quality of this. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
I think that we got to figure out a way because... Everyone's loving the other shows a lot more, and we don't need to hold on to something that they don't enjoy, and we can make it good, make it nice.
I agree.
We could have different lectures, perhaps. We could have like one pre-planned thing or two in the call-in shows, perhaps. We could do that. I don't know.
Might work.
All right, let's take a look here at the practical philosophy. The egg is the symbol of perfection. Do you want an egg? Eggs are awesome, and here is a list of why eggs are great. Eggs are the OG and infinitely better ramen. These things are versatile, they are low cost, they are healthy, and just a small amount of herbs and butter, and you're good to go for about like 70 different meals. It's crazy what you can do with eggs. Learning to cook eggs, and you will learn to cook all. That is the key. This is why Japan and French cooking, the two pinnacles of cooking, both agree on this fact. Cooking eggs is the way to crush at cooking. They teach you all the stuff, and it doesn't cost very much money. You can make mistakes. It's not a big deal. Also, eggs are one of the healthiest foods. They have perfect quality fat and high quality protein. They are fantastic all in one and very inexpensive. Eggs are also one of the easiest proteins to grow on your own property. You just need a chicken. They don't need much space. You can keep them as pets. In many suburban areas, you can have up to 6 chickens without having a permit, as long as you don't have a rooster. So 6 chickens is half a dozen eggs a day. So great way to get connected to your food and start increasing the quality of your food. It's one of the most versatile foods around. You'll be learning that over the course of this month here as we go through the egg challenge and you guys become experts. You will learn all the various, well, not all of them. There's like 250 ways to cook an egg. You're going to learn some of those ways over the next month and be a pro. And they're perfect for exploring different flavors without risk. A lot of times you're like, I wonder what it's like to eat in Japan. I wonder what it's like to eat in China. I wonder what it tastes like in Africa. And there's all these different places you might be interested to know. Well, what you'll find out from our egg training is that most flavors are 3 to 4 flavors paired together, and that is flavored with a fat, and then that fat is put over a protein. So you can actually explore the flavors and different nations' palates by figuring out their core flavor profiles and then adding them to eggs, because eggs are a neutral flavor that will adopt whatever herbs you mix them with. So there's incredible for basically you not have to go and risk and buy a bunch of expensive meat and ingredients that you won't be able to use. You can just do it with eggs and the flavoring tools as well as the fat, and that's it. So that is why eggs are amazing, and that is why we're doing the egg experiment this month, and we will be getting some good egg content for you guys soon. And that is today's practical philosophy. Let's wrap this show up. Let's get the live wizard readings going here.
We don't have any readings right now.
Sounds good. All right. Hey, Alex is here. Well, we can't see the light switch. Awesome.
Yeah. Alex also said you could do this show with Colin also.
We could do this show with Colin.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of extend it out. And yeah, also I want to make the egg sushi. Speaking of
Ooh,
eggs.
I haven't seen egg sushi. Oh, that is a true egg sushi. Oh, PB's trying to go for the high level art of egg sushi.
Yes.
That'll be pretty fun. Yeah, it's it's definitely it's a lose-lose across the board. It takes way more time to do this format. It's not as interesting for people. And we can put on a way better show for way longer. We're able to produce higher quality, better content, and more of it. I think it's just win-wins all across the board.
Maybe just evolved past this.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've attained a new level, and that's going to happen probably 7 to 9 more times before we're even pretty decent at this. So I would expect, if you're part of the Owls, this is an ongoing improvement and change. I am completely aware of the fact that we suck compared to where we should be. We want to achieve better, and that's what we're trying to do every day here is just change, grow, adapt, test new ideas. I get it. You say, Tyler, you suck. I can see where we should be, and I know that's you go and you watch some of these guys that've got tons of followers, getting tons of donos, and their shows really are garbage compared to what we're putting out.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to be like, Tyler, it doesn't suck. No, it's not. We don't judge ourselves based on the people who suck. We judge ourselves based on the quality of the product we're building. And I know this could be a lot better, and this is interesting, though. This is kind of cool to see that what we adopted to, what we've changed to, by freeing it up and making it more leaning into my strengths of chaos and spontaneity and the ability to think quickly, that has caused a major improvement in the show. And then having a more structured approach, not so good, and I tend to suck with structure. So perhaps that's good notes to take into consideration here. What do you think, Peeps? What are your thoughts?
I agree. They seem to like the other show better. At least more of them like it. I know Sherlock Owl just loves everything we do.
Yeah, Sherlock Owl is awesome.
The ultimate fan. But
Owl.
yeah, it seems like Ultimate Owl. Seems like the other streams just get more people involved. We got to meet a lot of newer people from those streams too, like Snowy Owl here.
Yeah.
Who is also in Ireland.
Welcome
so
to Snow Owl.
we get to kind of grow the flock and meet new great owls.
That's true. Grow the flock, get more people. It's more engaging.
Get some awesome interviews in.
We're watching cool videos. I think the only weakness to that strategy is that we're watching other people's videos on them, which is great. It's really fun, and I like to do, but that's probably not going to work at scale. I'm sure the bigger we get, the more people are going to be like, hey, don't play our videos, you know? Or at least not be as interested in it. I'm not sure. Well, good ideas. Let's discuss in the Discord. Again, we're trying to build the best show together, and you guys help us do that by telling us what rocks, what do you invite your friends to, what brings new owls in. That's what we're looking at and saying, all right, people like this, let's do more of that. If people like that, we'll do less of it. Or don't like this, let's do less of it. So good approach. I like it.
Yeah.
It's time
Snowy
to grow.
Owl just introduced a new word to me.
Interesting.
He said, "Good night, it's 4 a.m. and I'm knackered."
Knackered. Good night. Well, good night being knackered.
How awesome
That's
is
an
that?
interesting word. I
Knackered.
like it.
I'm knackered.
Awesome. All right. Well,
I
is
don't
there
know
anything
if
else to discuss? Anything else to do? Are we good?
I think we're good. Yeah.
All
It
right.
feels really weird to be ending.
It really
before-
does. But now if you think about it, our old show used to be about 2 hours and 40-ish minutes, and it looks like that's about what we're right on, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Or no, we used to be... No, it wasn't.
Well,
I'm thinking...
did.
We only did 2 hours, didn't we? We used to do like 1 hour 45 to 2. Now we're doing like 5.5.
So this feels real weird. I
It
feel
does.
like we just started.
I did too.
And
Like
I'm
this is the
like,
small talk in the beginning of just
so-
like, how's it going? Yeah, but no.
Uh-huh.
Well, we've ascended to a better level. We're
Well,
doing better quality.
Tune in tomorrow because it'll be better.
It will be. Yes. So if you're new here, join tomorrow as well.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Alex says, with my diet I'm on, I'm eating eggs a lot. I've pre-hard boiled 2 dozen, and I really like scrambled with veggies mixed in.
Boom. Yeah, eggs will make you
Eggs
drop
are-
weight like nobody's business. They did a case study and showed across the board, they analyzed 6,000 different people doing different diets. And the common thing across the board, above all else, was the number of eggs you ate was correlated with your increase in weight loss. It was the number one correlating factor was the people who ate the most eggs all lost the most weight. And it makes sense. These things are 70 calories an egg, and they're packed with, like, what is it? Something absurd. Is it 7 grams of protein?
6 to 7.
I think it's 7,
Depending
7,
on
7,
how
14,
big
21,
the
28.
egg
Yeah,
is.
7 grams of protein. It's 70 calories, and it has high quality fats in it, which, by the way, if you're doing hard boiling, you're going to want to watch the show for the next month, because we're going to show you how to upgrade hard-boiled eggs to the next level. It's crazy. Just by understanding how the temperature works, you could change the quality of them, and then also just a little bit of seasonings, just swapping those up, you can turn hard-boiled eggs into an incredible delicacy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah, it's so versatile. Yeah.
All right. Well, then with that, I think we'll go ahead and close up the stream. Really tired, like you're not able to think straight. That's all right. That's all right. Nah, he's sleepy. Go sleep. We're gonna go to sleep right now.
What is sleepy? He's knackered.
Oh, he's knackered. My apologies. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for joining the stream. We'll be back again here tomorrow, same place, same time, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time, with a regular tuned-in show. We'll be doing call-in show. We'll be doing, well, we won't tell you when or where the pirate ship will strike, but it will. you'll find that stuff out in the Discord. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having fun at the stream, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, but with a much longer show and a better one, in my opinion. Now, peace.